Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Iron Man retro carded wave, Count Nefaria. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends Iron Man retro carded wave. As in front of us today, we add a brand new character to the Marvel Legends line, a super villain, if you will. It is, of course, Count Nefaria. Now, he's one of those characters that doesn't quite make sense for the Iron Man retro card, however, as he was never in the animated show and he was never a part of that original Toy Biz line in the 90s either. But he is a character we need for our collection, as we have never had a Count Nefaria before, and I love adding new characters to the line, and it is a solid representation of the sort of supreme Nefaria in the comics, and I will explain more. The only thing, it looks a little bit lackluster in the packaging, as he only has a set of interchangeable hands, no other accessories, but the character design does look very accurate to the comic book page, and of course it's a beautiful retro card. So there he is on the front. On the back of the box we get one of those tribute stencils that are on the original Toy Biz figures, and then the smallest write-ups in the world. It reads: a wealthy nobleman and leader of an international crime family, Count Nefaria launches attacks aimed to take down Iron Man and the Avengers. Because he did debut in the Avengers comics, so he has come across Iron Man plenty of times before. So let's get him open. Here we have Count Nefaria out of the packaging with just that set of interchangeable hands. Very disappointed with the lack of accessories here. As I mentioned, he is on the Vulcan body, so you know what to expect in regards to height. Just over 6.5 inches tall. Now, there's a lot of white character design elements there, so I apologise if it's disappearing on the background. But this is a much better choice for Count Nefaria in regards to costume design, and this is technically his second look, and it's more of his super villain look as well, as he has two main looks in the comics. One of them is like a three-piece tailored suit, as he was basically an aristocrat, and the other one is this supervillain look when he got more powers. So let me remind you, refresh the memory, as Count Nefaria debuted in the Avengers 13 in 1965, and he's a wealthy Italian aristocrat, a genius who desires more wealth and power, so he joins a criminal organisation. A man of style, he originally wore tailor suits and a monocle, and it wasn't until 12 years later in the Avengers 164 in 1977 he returned with new powers and this super villain costume. Some dubbed him Nefaria Supreme, but X-Men fans will also recognise him as a few years earlier in Canny X-Men 95 in 1975 he blew up a plane and killed Thunderbird. So whether it's Avengers or X-Men or tormenting Iron Man, this guy is definitely worthy of being added to our Marvel Legends collection, and this is the much better choice of costume design as well. But of course we can pop that head on a suited body and see what we can do. So let's zoom in. And would you look at this for a villainous head sculpt as well? Menacing, maniacal. I like the sort of arrogant, gritted teeth and sort of angry eyebrows expression with the piercing blue eyes and all the sort of frowns and wrinkles all over the face. This is digital face printing tech at its finest once again. Sculpted goatee. You got the wisps of sort of silver in his hair. Brand new head sculpt for this character. And honestly, looks really good. Marvel Legends just keep getting really solid with their head sculpts. It's on the Vulcan body though, so it's the disc and hinge, so we can bury the chin, absolutely no problem at all. And look up again, no problems there. I just like the silhouette it cuts with the cape in the background. So talking of the cape, that is a completely separate piece that just plugs in on the back. So the outside of the cape is red, the inside is yellow, and again I just like the contrast with the character design, but it will just unplug. It's just a peg and a hole, very simple. Maybe a soft goods cape will make him a little bit more dynamic, but you can't challenge that doesn't already just look good and natural as the way it's sort of flowing for a display. So yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. It just sort of sits over one shoulder, so it doesn't hinder articulation too much at all. But I'll take that off for a second. You've got this sort of separate sort of rope piece done in yellow, which is just a separate plastic piece that goes over the body, and then the body itself is just black, white, red with a few little hints of yellow. So the yellow's there with the rope and then also on the belt. So the belt's red, which is a nice highlight to the gloves, top of the gloves, top of the boots as well. No sculpted detail for the boots, just paint of course, but you have got the swivel down there. And these gloves I do think are unique for him, if I remember correctly, but they are like pirate style. They do just sort of stick out a little bit pointy, if you will. So a very simple character design, but I don't know, it just all works really well when you build it all together. So it's the Vulcan body. You can see you've got the butterfly joints there, no problem at all. Bicep swivel, double jointed, pinless elbows, hinge in the wrist, decent ab crunch as well, forward and back, swivel at the waist, hidden underneath that belt, which again is a separate piece. You can move that up and down over the sort of trunks. Down to the legs, you've got the thigh cut, double jointed, pinless knees, cannot be mad at that. Kick his own ass all day long. Swivel at the top of the boots, ankle pivot and rocker. Decent range on the legs as well, going forward and out to the side. So standard Marvel Legends articulation for Count Nefaria, but I think that's all you need for this guy, honestly. Like, you don't need crazy articulation, and the Vulcan body does allow you more than average for Marvel Legends. So yeah, combine that with the cape, again, just plug it in on the back there, and he cuts a mean villainous silhouette for the shelf, and I'm very happy to add new characters. Again, all pinless as well. Yeah, I'm liking this. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, for accessories, just a set of interchangeable hands. Out of the box, he gets a set of fisted hands, and then of course you get this sort of open palm, more expressive, oversized Vulcan hands that we have seen many times before. Do think they've missed a trick here, as you could have given us some new blast effects or sort of power effects for Count Nefaria, to say the least, or even an interchangeable head with a different expression would have been nice, as I do want to try that on a suited body. Hey look, it's a miracle. 3 Marvel Legends suited bodies all standing on my table. I think that's a first, but I do want to try a little experiment. Let's see if any of these suited bodies work as an alternative for this Count Nefaria head sculpt, as he does wear a suit a hell of a lot in the comics. The only old-timey suit I could try and find was this Morlin one, so let's have a look. So it was a nice idea, as I do think the attire is more accurate to what he wore back in the day, but it doesn't really work, as he's got no neck. It does cover the sort of skin tone on the neck, but yeah, he just has no neck. You'd also have to swap out the hands, as he has the sort of vampire hands. So yeah, close, but not quite. Next up, the original, the OG suited body is of course the Coulson body, which has been reused many times before. It's a little bit old now, pinned, it doesn't stand very well, and also the head's too big, it just doesn't work proportionally, so that's a fail. And then last but not least, the new updated pinless suited body we got with Matt Murdock. It probably works the best out of all 3, but it is more of a modern look for Count Nefaria rather than an old school 3-piece, but the head's still a little bit too big for my mind. Okay, so that was a fail, but I tried, so you don't have to. If you can think of a more accurate suited body in the Marvel Legends line for Count Nefaria, let me know in the comments. Moving into comparisons, let's first bring in the Lethal Legion. If you know, you know, as we have Whirlwind and the Living Laser, as Count Nefaria did rebuild his own Lethal Legion sort of super villainous team in the comics. These two are a part of it, and also Atlas, aka Power Man, who we don't have in the Marvel Legends line, so there's a character we need. But these are very colourful, they're going to pop on the shelf if you display them together. Here we have the other 2 figures from this Iron Man retro card wave I have already reviewed on the channel, so go and check out those videos. It is of course Whiplash, aka Blacklash, and She-Hulk. Honestly, all completely pinless representations of the characters in plastic. They genuinely are great. It's a solid lineup so far, and there may be some connectivity to the Iron Man animated series, as I think the crew that Whiplash actually worked for is the same one that Count Nefaria did in the comics, even though they never sort of crossed over. But still, here we have the animated series Iron Man and War Machine. Remember, as I told you, Count Nefaria and this costume debuted going up against the Avengers, so this is a much better looking lineup. He is absolutely an Avengers villain for your collection. So here we have Cap and an Iron Man, don't ask me which. And here we have Vulcan. As you can see, they share the exact same body. It's just repainted with a different belt and different sort of glove pieces, but it's built on the same body. And then the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And remember everybody, go and check out my review for the brand new Marvel Legends 85th anniversary summer program, Superior Spider-Man. Potentially one of the best of the year so far, and we're just about hitting the halfway mark. Review on the channel now. And let's wrap up with some of the Who crew. We have Frogman, Tigra, and unfortunately, Broken Jocasta. And last but absolutely never least, it is Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. So, final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Iron Man retro carded wave, Count Nefaria. Now, you know me, it's all about world building and displaying, so I love adding brand new characters to our collection, and I like that we can add Count Nefaria to our villains display. And this is a great, accurate representation pulled from the comic book page of Count Nefaria. It's a simple comic design, but it just works really well in plastic. Love the head sculpt as well. I love it that we not only add new characters, but we're also utilizing the best Marvel Legends has to offer with the digital face printing and the pinless technology. Great addition to the collection. My only gripe is the lackluster accessories. We only got hands. Come on, Hasbro, give us a little bit more than that. Otherwise, great looking figure. You let me know what you think in the comments below, as always. And if you like Marvel Legends, then well, you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlist, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, hit all of the notification bell, don't miss out on the video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on Twitter or X at Dan Who Reviews, and you will of course see me on the next one.